Alright, I promised you guys a quick tutorial of how to fold and make a snowflake. So what you'll need, I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of computer paper, and I have a very sharp pair of scissors. Be careful with your scissors. You know, safety always. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take and fold this edge over to this edge. And that is going to form a triangle in the paper. And I want to line it up pretty good. And I'm also going to make sure to crease it. I think creasing it is very important when making a snowflake. I'm going to get something that looks like this. I'm going to cut off this excess paper. So I just quickly cut that off. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I keep this excess paper because I can make teeny little snowflakes out of it. Now, I have a triangle. And what I'm going to do is fold and make a smaller triangle. And again, I'm going to crease it. And then I'm going to fold it again into yet a smaller triangle. That's my third fold if you're counting. And then the next fold, I'm going to fold this edge over to this edge. So I'm not folding into a whole triangle. And I fold this, and I get this kind of shape. Now, what the tendency is for people is to kind of cut it and then leave it and it comes out a square. I'm going to show you how to make it not a square. So I'm going to cut a circle shape out kind of like that. And you can see when I open it up, it's going to give me a shape that isn't going to be a square. And then what I find the key trick to making really beautiful snowflakes is to cut very long, thin sections out. So I'm going to cut out like this and maybe make it a little bit wavy. You can see there. And then I cut. And again, I'm going to make it follow that wave. And cut out there so you can kind of see that. And then maybe I'm going to come in here and cut like this and cut that out. And it's also fun to do like little notched edges. I think those always make a neat effect in snowflakes. So I'm going to go in and notch this edge down here. Now, having really sharp scissors, I know they're small, but they're excessively sharp helps. But please, again, be careful with your scissors because you don't want to hurt yourself making snowflakes. They're not as pretty when they're red with blood. So I just notched down the edge there, you can see, and picking out the excess paper there. And then maybe I come in here. I'm going to cut maybe a loop out of there, like that. And then maybe I'll come in and make another long, thin little cut there. And so you just want to make some nice little cuts. I find that the curvy cuts are really pretty in snowflakes. And then once you have that done, another curvy cut there. Once you have that done, then you can open it up. Now, the more delicate you make it, the harder this process can be. This is not my most delicate snowflake. But you take and open it up, and you can see I've got a lot of edges to this one because of the way I cut it. And this is what this one looks like, which is pretty wild. Now, if you open it up and you're like, you know, I really don't like the way that looks, you can always go in, and maybe I'll go in and think, that might be a little, looks almost like an octopus, which is cool, but it's not very snowflakey. So I'll cut that off, and then when I open it up, I get maybe something that looks a little bit more like what you would expect for a standard snowflake. And so this is how you go about making the big round snowflakes that don't look quite so much like squares. And here are two other snowflakes that I've previously made. You can see this one has a lot of cuts in it. And again, that rounded edge. And then one with a little more of the scalloped edges. I particularly like this one. And I like to take these and hang them on my doors and my windows. I just think they make a nice addition to the winter season. Happy folding and cutting!